Hi, and welcome to Your Future, Your Finances. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Brian Kuhn. Today we're talking with Carissa Miller of Transamerica Capital regarding the very important topic of Social Security. Affects basically everybody. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Lots to talk about with Social Security, but we'll start with your background. Tell us your role with Transamerica.
So I've been in the financial services industry now for 12 years, and most recently I'm now a regional vice president with Transamerica. Now, Transamerica does a lot of different things. You know, one thing we do that's very important to us is help people save and grow their assets for retirement, but also create strategies to help them guarantee that their assets will basically last as long as they do. And so I specifically represent products that can help clients achieve this goal. So I work with financial advisors all over Maryland, bringing them information and education on these types of strategies that they in turn can use with their clients, helping them achieve the kind of confidence and stability and really security they're looking for in retirement. And so whenever you're talking about retirement planning, clearly Social Security is a very important topic to bring up.
So with Social Security, often people ask, will it even be there? What do you think?
Yes, this is a question on many people's minds. And there's a lot of information going around out there about how Social Security is broken or even worse. But there's also a lot of misconceptions about the system. Now, there are some legitimate concerns. The baby boomers coming through will strain Social Security. And longevity is also increasing, and the ratio of workers to beneficiaries has been decreasing over time. So this is legitimate. But if you look at what the actual Social Security trustees say about the program, it's not as bad off as one would believe. In fact, according to the most recent report, the bottom line is this. Social Security has been a pay-as-it-goes system all the way since it was created. And it's not even until the year 2034 will it'll begin paying out more in benefits than it brings in actual tax revenue. And even from 2034 to 2089, it could still pay 72% of benefits if nothing was even changed at all. Now, clearly, that's not going to work, so there will be changes to Social Security. But to answer your question, yes, it will absolutely be there. It may not look the way it looks today, though.
And there's already some changes that have been considered or debated. What are some examples of those?
Well, in addition to the changes that just took place, they're also looking at a number of other things. One thing they could do is just increase the tax rate on Social Security. Currently, both an employee and an employer pay 6.2 in FICA taxes, so they could increase that. They could also increase the maximum amount of money that's currently subject to Social Security taxation. For 2016, that amount is $118,500. They could increase that. They could also increase the full retirement age, which this really seems like a no-brainer. If you go back to the beginning of Social Security back in 1935, full retirement age was 65. You fast forward to today, longevity has increased significantly, but full retirement has only been pushed out 2 years. Someone born today has a full retirement age of 67. So we anticipate this changing for younger people, but not for people who are really close to turning on their benefits. And then they could also look at decreasing the cost of living adjustments. This is one of the most costly aspects of Social Security, and there are some other calculations for cost of living that would create a big savings.
So not many of those things would affect the benefits people are receiving necessarily, just the tax that they're paying to get it and when it starts. So how are the benefits determined? How are they calculated?
Okay, so first of all, you have to be eligible for Social Security. And to be eligible, you have to have 40 credits. So for 2016, you earn 1 credit for each $1,260 that you earn. So you can earn a max of 4 credits per year. So it takes roughly 10 years to qualify. But credits only determine eligibility, not the amount of your payment. Your payment is going to be determined by your highest 35 years of work history. So Social Security takes your highest 35 years, they index them into today's dollars, find the average, plug it into their formula, and that's going to be your primary insurance amount.
And then your primary insurance amount will estimate how much your benefit will be.
Correct, at full retirement age, yes.
And how does somebody estimate what it'll be?
Well, one way they could do that is just go to the Social Security website, so ssa.gov/mystatement. So here you can create your own account, you can view your previous statement, you can play with the calculators to predict what your future income will be, and also you can verify your work history here, which we recommend doing at least once to make sure it is accurate.
Okay. What's the maximum someone could receive?
Well, if somebody was 66 this year and retiring, and let's just say they made the maximum amount of earnings every year for 35 years, then their monthly check would be $2,663. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot of money, does it? But if this person lived to age 100 and we assumed 2.8% of inflation, they would actually collect over $2 million over their lifetime. Now, clearly most people don't hit the maximum every single year, but the idea here is regardless, it's going to be a very significant amount of money.
Can they receive a check and then they can continue to work?
Well, that's a good question, and it's a little complicated. If you're under full retirement age, you can work, but you are going to be subject to earnings limits. For 2016, that amounts just over $15,000. So for every $2 you earn over that, $1 is going to be withheld from Social Security benefits. Now, the money's not being taken away from you. It will be recalculated into your benefit at full retirement age. And after full retirement age, you can be like Warren Buffett, making all kinds of money and still collecting benefits.
So how do people go about deciding when to start taking their payment?
Well, it's a difficult question because everyone's situation is so different and there's a lot of factors involved. But one way people would do it is just based on the actual amount of the payment, right? So for example, if your primary insurance amount at 66 is $1,000, you can look at what it would be at age 62. It would be a 25% decrease by filing early. Or you could wait until age 70, where by delaying, you would actually earn 8% a year. So it would be $1,320 a month. So when you look at it mathematically, by waiting from full retirement age to age 70, that's a 32% increase in your benefit. And by waiting from 62 to age 70, that's a 76% increase in benefit. So sometimes the actual dollars is how someone makes the decision. Now, another way to do it is based on the break-even analysis. Someone will ask the question, well, how long would I have to live for this to make sense? So for example, let's say someone's trying to decide whether they should file at 66 versus 62. What is that break-even point? Well, if you live past 78, that was the right decision. If you were to pass away before 78, well, then you would have wanted to file at age 62. So what happens here, we see many people just filing early because they think they're not going to live until age 78.
And then they do. Let's take a quick break. We'll get right back into it. We're talking with Carissa Miller of Transamerica Capital regarding very important topic, Social Security. Your future, your finances. I'm your host, Brian Kuhn. We'll be right back.